I figured out a workflow for Claude Code that will absolutely blow your mind. It will have you building apps faster than you ever have before, even if you've never written a line of code in your life. Doesn't matter if this is your first time using Claude Code or you're a Claude Code master, the skills you're about to learn in this video will change how you use AI forever. If you stick with me, 20 minutes from right now, you'll be coming up with endless ideas for apps you can build. You'll be spinning up armies of AI agents to build it, and you'll be able to ship an app that you can start making money on today. Let's get into it. Let's go through the setup first. What you see here is on the right, Visual Studio Code with the Claude Code extension. I'll have the link to Visual Studio Code down below. It is completely free, no monthly subscription, nothing like that. I use the Claude Code extension. To download that, all you have to do is go into the extension section of Visual Studio Code. You type in Claude Code, you hit install, and boom, you have the Claude Code extension installed. There's many ways you can use Claude Code, the CLI, the extension inside Cursor, inside Visual Studio. For me, my preferred workflow is the extension inside Visual Studio because Visual Studio Code is free and very, very dependable. I've never had an issue with extensions. Sometimes I have issues installing extensions inside Cursor. And I like the extension for Claude Code rather than through the CLI because I like the UI just so much more. It's so much easier to use, cleaner, and you have some extra features that are very nice for quality of life. Over on the left-hand side, what you see here is Claude Code for Web, the newest feature for Claude Code, which we'll be going through here. You're not going to see this feature in any other video on YouTube. This is their basically cloud platform where you can spin up as many agents as you want that will work on your app for you, that will develop ideas, that will do anything you want. It's really, really amazing, and I'll be going through that as well and show you how these two things work together to superpower your workflow. When I get these two working together in this video, it's going to be harmony. It's going to be beautiful. It's like directing an orchestra of AI agents. You got to stick with me here. I highly recommend working with me as we do the video, so feel free to pause right now, download Visual Studio Code. You only really need the $20 version of Claude to use Claude Code, so feel free to sign up for that. If you like it, if you build this app out with me, then you can sign up for one of the more expensive versions so you get a lot more usage. But for the sake of this video, feel free to do the $20 version. We can get this app running. But let's do this. Let's start building our app. Today, we are going to be building a project management tool. I like to build apps that I can use every single day that make my life easier. That's the best type of app to build, ones that you use yourself, because even if no one buys and you make $0, your life's getting easier. So we're gonna build a project management tool today that allows us to organize our ideas, organize our tasks, and be way more productive. I wanna basically build a Kanban board similar to this that we can use on our own every single day to manage our projects. So let's do this. Let's start with the design of our app. What our app is gonna look like. I promise this is something you haven't seen in any other video. We're going to make sure this app looks good rather than like AI slop, which you'll typically get if you start building an app with no design inspiration. And where we're going to start for this is one of the new parts of my workflow I just figured out, is actually with V0. So if you log into V0, which has a free tier, you can go to this section right here on the left, which is design systems. You don't have to pay for this. This is not me trying to get you to sign up for another service. They just have a free section in here that I really, really like, which is this design systems. And what we're going to do is choose a design for our app and basically export it from V0 to Claude Code really, really easily. So I like this soft pop here. This soft pop looks nice. Let's open this up in the editor. I like the way these colors look, the way they pop. So we're going to do this. To get the design in the Claude Code, literally all we're going to do is I'm just going to screenshot this. So I chose the design I like. I'm going to, on Mac, screenshot it like this. If you're on Mac, you can do Shift Control Command 4. That actually just copies the screen, and then you can paste it in. I'm going to take this design, and then I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go back into Claude Code. I'm going to paste in that screenshot, and we're going to do this. This is going to be the prompt for our app. I'm going to put this down below too if you just want to copy and paste it and put it in. Right before we do that though, real quick, and this is a very important step, we're going to do /model, and we're going to say select model, and we're going to choose Haiku 4.5. The reason we're doing this is very, very simple. What's going to happen is Haiku 4.5 is the cheapest, quickest model from Anthropic, and the way it's going to work is it's going to use Sonnet 4.5, which is their best model, for planning. So it's going to use their best model to build out the really nice in-depth plans. Then it's going to use Haiku for the execution. And as long as you got a really good plan, which is what Sonnet is going to do, Haiku is going to be able to build that out really, really well. And you're going to save a ton of money. So you'll be able to get way more usage out of the $20 tier if that's what you're doing. I highly recommend everyone use this. You select Haiku and it'll use Sonnet for planning, and the cheap model, Haiku, for the execution, which you'll get just as good results with. Now that we did that, let's paste in the prompt. You can copy and paste it from down below in the description and build this alongside with me. I want to build a project management app for vibe coding apps. Basically, the way I want it to work is it's a Kanban board with to-do, in progress, and completed sections. Plus, I can add more if I want. I can add cards to the Kanban board for tasks and add notes to the cards. The app should look like the design in the screenshot I attached and be beautiful and nice to use animations, especially when I drag the cards. Use NextJS and Tailwind v3 for this. Just use local storage for now, no auth. NextJS and Tailwind v3 are the web technologies we're going to use to build the app. It's like the most popular technologies out there right now, so it'll be very easy to build your apps out. Before we send this prompt, we're just going to hit Shift-Tab twice, which will put us in plan mode, which you see right there. And if you're brand new to Claude Code, this is just the mode where it's not going to write any code. It's just going to build us out a very detailed plan with Sonnet 4.5, which is going to make the code generation so much more powerful. You want to use plan mode before you do any major step. The only times I'm not using plan mode is if I'm doing really, really simple tasks like changing just a UI element. But anything more than just changing a UI element, you want to use plan. It might add just an extra step here and there, but I promise adding this extra step will have you moving so much faster because the AI is going to write only reliable code. So we're in plan mode. Let's hit send. The AI is going to start working. It's going to use Sonnet 4.5 to build out this plan for us. Then we're going to approve it right after. I can't wait to get into the next steps of this workflow with you, especially when we start looping in Claude Code for web and I show you how you can spin up an army of AI agents that's going to do work for you while we work on the app, even while we're sleeping. So here we go. It set up the plan for us. This is awesome. So it's going to initialize the project. It's going to configure the CSS. It's going to install a bunch of libraries that will make the animations nice for us. And listen, if you're brand new to coding or you're not very technical, that's fine. You don't have to worry about the technical part. Just make sure you go through the plan and make sure it sounds generally right. So it's going to create the Kanban board and data structure. It's going to build the board out. It's going to implement the columns. It's going to create the card components. And it's going to add all the nice polish and animations, which is great. Again, I like Next.js because there's tons of documentation for it online. These AIs heavily rely on documentation, so it's very easy to find that and build out your app for you. So I like this plan, right? If you didn't like the plan, you can say no, keep planning and ask it to do other things or change the plan. Let's hit yes on this. It is going to start building out that app. By the way, I say yes and don't ask again. I fully trust Claude Code. I've used this 100,000 times. It very rarely messes up. So I just say yes and don't ask again, and it builds it out. While that works and builds out the app, I'm going to go into one of the most important stages of our workflow, which is kind of the brainstorming, coming up with idea stage. And for the ideation stage, I really like this tool TickTick. It is completely free. You can download that, but you can also do this in Apple Notes or Google Notes or whatever you use. You don't need anything fancy for this, but I think it's really important you do this stage of the workflow. Not many people are doing this, and I think it's critical. This is your project management stage. This is how you're going to manage your ideas, organize your ideas, and come up with new things to build out. And it's going to make communicating with Claude Code so much easier. So as Claude Code builds out, I like to go into my project management tool. So whether it's Apple Notes, I use TickTick. And what you do is just brain dump ideas for your app, for features, for whatever you're building in here, right? So we're building our own project management tool, which is kind of meta. And we're going to go, let's go into in progress. And this is what we're building it now, and say, build the base application. So that's what we're working on now, in progress. But let's come up with some more ideas for to-do here. And I'm going to show you some ways to use AI to actually come up with way more ideas in a second once we go into Claude Code for web. So we can come up with some new ideas for tasks here. Let's do generate AI prompts in each card. So I want to be able to, when I'm inside our project management tool, in each card say generate prompt, so that we can take the prompts and put it into Claude Code if we're like managing our vibe coding apps in our new project management tool. So I'm going to hit enter on that. We can say login /auth, database, customize the look and feel, AI functionality, right? We're just coming up and brainstorming and dumping our ideas for our app into here. And then as we build this out, and as I go later into this workflow when we're using Claude Web and we're spinning up AI agents, we can just start taking all these ideas we're brain dumping and give them to the AI agents to build on their own. A lot of people, they just go in here and they just go in Claude Code and they just kind of type their ideas as they come. You want to stay organized, and this is the best way to stay organized. Again, this is adding an extra step, but with this extra step, it will speed up your workflow so much more at the end of the day. So as we do this, pull open an Apple Notes if you want, download TickTick if you want, whatever you want. A lot of people use Linear. That's kind of the hot trending new project management tool. Whatever you want to use. It doesn't have to get complicated. I'm not trying to sell you on these tools here. Just pull one open, brain dump your idea so that when we get later into this workflow, when we start doing a lot cooler things with Claude for Web, you can just start pulling these out and build them out with me. As this is going, just as a side note, I get this question 1,000 times a day. Why Claude Code? Why not Codex? Why not Cursor 2.0? Isn't Cursor 2.0 incredible? All that. I'm just going to be honest with you as this builds out. I'm not getting paid by any of these companies. I'm not sponsored. I have no loyalty here. Anthropic isn't paying me here. Although Anthropic, listen, if you want to sponsor video, more than happy to do it. But the reason why I talk about Claude Code so much, and this video is all about Claude Code workflows, and I developed this workflow so much, is just in my opinion, at the end of the day, Claude Code's the best AI coding tool out there right now. Just period, end of story. I've used them all. For me, Claude Code is just the most reliable and writes the best code and doesn't put me in error loops, and is just the most beginner-friendly. It just gives me the best results, and that's why all my videos are about that. All right, boom, it's all done working here. Perfect. Your Vive Kanban project management app is now complete and ready to use. It shows me all the features it built out. And this is another thing I love about Claude Code too, is just its descriptions of what it builds and how it talks to you. Like, I know this is kind of a crazy thing to say. It might be all hippy-dippy, but at the end of the day, like, vibes are a thing, I think, when it comes to talking to AI. Like, that's a critical thing for me, is the vibes. And I'm going to be honest with you, out of all the AI tools out there, Claude Code, just the way it communicates with me, is so warm, it's so friendly, it feels like a partner developer. It doesn't feel like it's talking down to me. It's not super technical. It feels like it talks at my level, and it's just super pleasant and easy to read all the descriptions. And that's another reason why I just really enjoy using this tool. But like, this is just great. Like, I can see the core features really easily. The design and UX. I'm not a fan of overuse of emojis, but I think it's tasteful the way they use emojis in this. The structuring, where I can see the project structure really well. It's just super easy to read all this and understand what they did. I think for you, even if you're not very technical, make sure you take the time and just read the summary of what it built, so you can just be super intimate with your app. Again, I don't think you need to know how to read code to do any of this, but just be familiar with how your app works and go through this and see what it built out. So let's do this. I hit Control-tilde on Mac to bring up the terminal right here, and then we do npm run dev, and we hit enter, and that is going to run our app. And as you can see here, localhost 3000. I'm going to hold Command and then click there. All right, here we go. Let me make this bigger here. Wow, that's nice. That looks good. So this is the V1 of our Kanban board. I'm going to show you how to do a lot more things right now after this, including adding features, using Claude Web, and a whole bunch of other little tips and tricks. But that is really sick. That's a good V1. It is better than your standard UI I think you get with AI, because we included that screenshot. Usually you get the purple and the blue gradients. There's not a single purple or blue gradient to be seen here. And when I click and drag, oh, that's nice. You get that nice animation for clicking and dragging. That's really good. So congrats if this is your first time ever building with AI. You just built your first app, but we're not even 10% done here. Let's start adding a lot more cool things to this, and I'll show you the rest of my workflow. So to get Claude for Web working, which is a critical part of this workflow, we need to put this app on GitHub. GitHub is an online repository for code that Claude Code will hook into so that their AI agents can do work for us while we sleep if we want. So do this, go to github.com, make an account here if you haven't already, completely free. We're going to create a new repository for this. We're going to call it Project Management App. We're going to go down here. You can make it private if you want. And then we're going to click Create Repository. Once that is set up, we're going to copy this address for the repository, and we're going to go back into Claude Code. Now we're going to say, please commit this code to, and then we're going to put the address right there, and we're going to hit enter. And now what Claude Code will do is take all our code, and put it into that GitHub repository. Now, if this is your first time ever using GitHub, ever using it in Claude Code, there's going to be a couple extra login steps where it'll say, hey, please log into your GitHub and do a couple of things there. If you get confused as it goes, just say, hey, I don't know why this isn't working. You screenshot it, give it to Claude Code. Claude Code will fix it for you. It'll understand what you need to do. That should just take a couple of minutes. But if you used GitHub before, you can just say yes and don't ask again, and it will initiate all of this for us. That will commit our code. I hit yes here. And again, don't worry, you don't need to be a GitHub master for this. Claude will handle it all for you. Perfect. It has been committed and pushed. Let's refresh and see if we have our code here. Boom! Our code's on GitHub. That is awesome. You're now basically a full-time software developer. Congratulations. This also backs up your code. So if you ever mess up and you write code or something you don't like, you can just pull it back down from GitHub and you are good to go. This keeps your code safe. If your computer ever blows up or burns out, you have your code on the web now as a backup, which is awesome. Now we can do this. If we switch over to Claude for web, and basically all you need to do is go to claude.ai, then hit code in the left-hand bar. This will open up Claude Code for web, which you see here. We can select our repositories by type in project management app. There it is. Boom. We are connected. We are now connected to our app from the cloud, and now we can spin up agents from Claude Code Web to start working on our app for us. But here's where the workflow gets interesting. I'm not only going to spin up coding agents. You think Claude Code, you think, oh, you're going to use the agents for coding. No. This is just a general web agent, so we can have this AI agent do anything we want on the web. So let's do this. We're not going to have it start coding yet. We're going to go in here and we're going to do this. So I'm going to say this. Please build me out a roadmap for this app. Look at all the code in our project management app, then build us a roadmap of features that will make our app better, make customers stickier, and overall improve the value of the app. I'm going to hit enter on that, and what that is going to do is now spin us up an AI agent in the cloud. I can hit enable, so it's going to alert us when it is done working. And now Claude on the web, this is an AI agent on the web, this isn't even on my computer, is now building out a comprehensive roadmap. But let's go back. It's going to go to work. Let's spin up some more AI agents. We're going to have an army of AI agents working for us here. I also want a marketing AI agent. So I'm going to say this. You are a marketing agent. Please look at our app and come up with a marketing plan, including tweets and emails. Also build us out a landing page copy and design. I'm going to hit enter on that. Now we have two AI agents on the web workers. While we have one AI agent inside Claude Code here to the right building our app, we now have two agents on the web building for us. But we're not done here. Let's keep going. So I'm looking at our project management here. We have build the base application. That's done. We'll move that to finish. Let's have an AI agent customize the look and feel. So we'll put that in progress. Let's go back here and let's say build a light mode and dark mode for our app. And we're going to hit enter on that. And so now we have an actual AI agent coding for us. And now it's building out the light mode and the dark mode for us on the web. And I'll show you in a little bit how to pull down this code and put it in our app. So we have three AI agents chugging along for us on the web. If we were about to go to bed, you can go on your app on your phone and actually have your agents build. I don't think you can see it here, but I actually have the agents on my phone right here in the Claude Code app. There you can see it. You just go into the Claude app and then you click code on the left-hand side and you can see your agents. So this is cross-platform. This is on my phone, on my computer, everything. So this is really sick. But let's do this. While this is in progress with our AI agents, let's add some AI functionality. So let's generate AI prompts in each card. So I want to make it so that each card in our app, you can look at a task, and when you click it, you can actually have it generate an AI prompt for you that you can put into Claude Code and have it build out. I think that would be really sick. So let's build that out inside Claude Code. So this is part of the general workflow, which superpowers you, right? You're spinning up agents to work on the cloud for you that are building out a whole bunch of functionality, your marketing, your roadmap, your product manager. You basically have a one-person company going on here, right? And then at the same time, we're going to go in and we're going to start building out features ourselves. This is how a one-person business turns into a billion-dollar business. This was not possible before AI. Right before AI, if I wanted to build this app, I'd have to hire a product person, a marketing person. I'd have to hire developers. I'd be spending millions of dollars a year to build this out. Now, because of AI, I have my 3 employees working for me in the cloud, my product manager, my marketer, my junior developer, and then I have my senior developer over here inside Claude Code building out the other features for me. This is why I said this workflow is so powerful, is because this is how you build leverage. This is how you build an entire company that works for you, even though you're just one person. Many people would spend millions of dollars a year to have all these people working for them in a company. For me, I'm spending $20, $100 a month for Claude Code. Pretty incredible. So let's go in and start building out the AI functionality here. I'm going to show you how to implement an AI API into your app as well, so you can have AI functionality in your app. This is your first time doing this. You're going to be so ahead of your competitors. It's crazy. So I'm going to hit Shift-Tab to go into plan mode, and this is the prompt, and I'll put this down below as well. I want to make it so that there is AI functionality in this app. I'd like to make it so that in each card on the Kanban board, there is an AI button. Then when I hit that button, it uses the OpenAI API to generate a prompt for that card. It will take the title of the card and turn it into a prompt I can give to Claude Code to build out that feature. So basically, you have your board. There's now going to be an AI button. I click it, and it will take whatever the task is in that card and turn it into an AI prompt that I then can give to Claude Code to build out whatever that feature is. That's really awesome AI functionality that we're about to build out here. So I'm going to do this in plan mode. I'm going to hit send. And this is going to plan out, again, using Sonnet, how to build out this feature. So we're saving money because Haiku's doing all the building. Sonnet is doing all the planning. A really cool workflow tip that's going to save you a ton of money. As this is building, by the way, if you learned anything at all my videos are jam-packed with as just much value as this. So make sure you leave a like if you learned anything. Subscribe for way more content like this. Turn on notifications so you get alerted the moment I live stream or build things out. I promise it will be worth it. So this is the plan. It's built out. I'll help you build out the AI functionality. This is awesome. I love when Claude does this. It is asking me for my preferences. So instead of just building out the plan, it's like, okay, so what do you want to use? Which models do you want to use? What do you want it to look like? I like that it does. So we'll go in and we're going to answer these questions. I'm going to say use GPT-5. It's asking how in-depth I want the prompts to be. Keep the prompting simple, not super technical. Then it's asking me where should the prompt be displayed. I'm going to say append the description field. Card context. Do we want to include everything in the card for context? Include everything in the card for context. And API implementation. This is a client-side app with no backend. Are you okay with creating a NextJS API route? Yes, whatever you think is appropriate and simple. If you notice, there is a ton of spelling mistakes in everything I'm typing, but that's okay. Claude understands what I'm saying. So it is what it is. That's show business, baby. All right, we're going to hit enter there, and it is going to start getting to work. At the same time, we're going to check in on our AI agents over here. It looks like one of them is done. Create app roadmap from existing code. Let's see the roadmap it came up for us. All right, so we're going to go up here. Let's see here. Oh, did a lot of work for us. Excellent. We now have a complete understanding. And here is the roadmap. I've analyzed your entire code base and created a detailed roadmap for you. So it tells us the current state, and now it gives us phases for all of 2025. So the backend structure, it's going to give us database roadmap. That's pretty sick. It's going to tell us auth and user management. It has a roadmap for us for team management and workspaces, being able to add comments, a notification system, being able to attach files. These are really good ideas. What I like to do as we do this here, and I'm going to accept the plan over on the right. See, I'm multitasking out the wazoo here. I'm going to pull open TickTick again over here. And again, just use Apple Notes if you want. And I'm just going to add some of the ideas I see from the AI over here. So I like the ability to add notes. Ooh, team management. Let's add team management here. Notification system. I like that. Sync to your calendar. So let's sync with calendar. And basically what we're doing is we're generating ideas with the AI. We're putting it in our project management tool, and we're just humming here. The app's improving. Your competition, I promise you, is not using this workflow. Your competition isn't generating ideas. I mean, what are we, like 10 minutes in here? We're generating ideas. We already have the app done. We're moving on to the roadmap. We have 100 different ideas good to go, and we're all just one person. That's why this workflow is so powerful, because you have the leverage of 20 different people at once, even though you're just one person, and you're organized. So if we come back to this later, we have our system good to go. What your competition is doing is they're using Claude Code, they're giving it prompts of things to build out, and then as it's building, they're going on their phone and they're doom scrolling TikTok, and their brain is melting out of their ears. You're different. Instead of your brain melting out of your ears on TikTok, you're coming in here and you're hiring hundreds of AI employees to work for you to come up with roadmaps, marketing, building your landing page, build out your app, all the above. While your competition snoozes and rots away, you are using leverage and building faster than you ever have in your entire life. So that's still building. I'll layer on one more feature for you here while this goes. So this is only if you want to take this workflow to the next level. This is only if you want to be maximum efficient. I also have the Claude desktop app open at all times. If you want to use the ChatGPT desktop app, you can do that. If you want to use the Google Gemini desktop app, if they even have one, you can do that. This is for general back and forth brainstorming and talking to the AI. And so what I'll do here is I will describe to Claude what I'm building. I like to use this prompt whenever I'm starting to build out a new project. I'm building out a project management Kanban board app right now. I want to use this chat to be generally productive and talk about what I'm building, come up with new ideas, and just get general advice for my business and life. Let's chat. And I'm going to hit enter on that. And now, while we have agents working for us on Claude for Web, while we have our agent building out functionality inside Claude Code, I now have like a general business and life consultant I'll be talking to in the Claude desktop app. And so you don't even need to just talk about the app you're working on, the Kanban board. A lot of the times I'll use this to talk about things in my life. Hey, I want to be more productive. I want to read more books. How do I do that? How do I find more time to read more books? And this will go through that with me. And this is how you stay maximally productive, right? Most people, when using AI, there's tons of downtime. They're doom scrolling. They're getting distracted by Twitter, by YouTube, by TikTok, whatever, while it's working. The key to getting maximum productivity in your workflow is maximizing your leverage with AI and avoiding downtime. As long as you use AI whenever you have downtime, you will constantly be productive and be getting better. And so I have my AI in Claude Code building out the big tasks. I have my AI agents inside Claude for Web doing the little tasks and the little planning. And then I have the Claude desktop app I use for business consulting, general back and forth, and making sure I get the most out of every second I'm working with the AI. Your competition at best is just building with Claude and then getting distracted and running off whenever it's building. You, on the other hand, an absolute savage, an absolute master who is maximizing every second to squeeze the juice out of AI, is, again, using Claude to build out the main features. Yes, and don't ask again. Using Claude for Web, their brand new feature to have agents go build their roadmap, build out little tasks, like, for instance, the light and dark mode, which is already done. And then they have their business consultant to do higher level planning on the app, higher level administration, higher level life management to get the most out of AI. And now your workflow is humming. There's two things we're doing here. We're eliminating distractions, which is critical. We live in an ADD society where everyone is constantly distracted. We are eliminating distractions and we are maximizing the output from the AI agents. So let's do this. Let's see how this workflow went. Let's add our AI key, test out this new functionality we just built out, and see how it did. So it looks like it used the Anthropic API for this. I guess it sees we're in an Anthropic mood, so we use the Anthropic API key. I'll show you how to grab that right now. If you sign in at console.anthropic.com, you can get your API key from here. I'm going to click Get API Key. I'm going to click Create a key. I'm going to say project management, and I'm going to hit add. Copy your API key into .env.local. Right there, you hit save, and your AI functionality should be good to go. All right, so let's test this out. It looks like we have this nice new AI button on every single card here. If we click it, I imagine it's going to generate an AI prompt for us. Let's we click. I like that little nice animation there. That was smart, Claude. Add. Boom! AI generated prompt. Add local storage functionality to automatically save and persist. So now we don't need to think of AI prompts anymore for each one of the features. We can just copy and paste the prompt that the AI gives us and give it to Claude Code, and it will build the functionality out for us. We built that out. The app is looking pretty good. I mean, you have all the functionality we need to manage your apps. Now, instead of using TickTick to plan out our apps that we vibe code, we can use our own app that we built ourselves. And there's nothing cooler than that. There's nothing cooler than using the apps you built yourself. It is the best feeling in the world. So let's recap what we did so far. For this workflow, we used the Claude Code extension inside of VS Code, which I think is the best way to interface with Claude Code in the world. Clean, simple, easy to use. We used Claude for Web, their brand new functionality at Claude.ai that allowed us to spin up as many AI agents in the cloud that we want in order to get things done, like building little tiny features, like doing research for our app, like doing marketing. Basically, we keep spinning up employees for ourselves to do work for us. Then we use the Claude desktop app to be like our business consultant. So as things are working, as code is generating for us, we talk to the Claude desktop app to bounce ideas, talk about our life, talk about the business, just get advice so that we don't waste time. While everyone else, while our competition goes and doom scrolls TikTok while the AI is building and it takes them 12 hours to get anything done, we are chugging along. We are spinning up AI agents. We are talking to business consultants. We're having 20 AIs work for us at the same time. This is the best workflow you possibly can have for vibe coding right now. This will get apps out faster than you possibly can imagine. Everything else is just noise. It'll be like, oh, you have to do MCPs and NAN and this and that. No. You keep it simple like we did today, and you will get way more work done than you possibly can imagine. If you learned anything at all, leave a like. Let me know in the replies if you started using this functionality yet, what part of this is new to you. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Turn on notifications, because all I do is create amazing videos about AI. I also live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Stop by for that. Ask me questions. Hang out. Do whatever you want. Newsletter, free newsletter down below. #1 AI newsletter in the world. Link down in the description. Make sure to sign up for that. I have a lot of asks, but it's all for you. It's all for you guys. I love you all. Thank you all. See you in the next video.